giving money to the lower class and the idiots that don't understand how money really works, etc. What do? They go buy Jordan sneakers and do stupid shit. That's the reality. You want to go ahead and create more jobs, and the way that you create more jobs is giving tax breaks to the companies and, most importantly, the small businesses, guys. The United States was built upon the foundation of small businesses. If you give them tax breaks, you allow them to scale up. Scaling up 9 out of 10 times means hiring more employees and advancing the business, right? Opening up more locations, right? They talked about COVID. COVID, guys, was an unforeseen situation. Let's be honest. It was an unforeseen and unprecedented event. We've never had anything like that in modern human history. I don't think any president could have prepared for that or dealt with it in a better way. Obviously, I don't agree with Operation Warp Speed. I think anytime you try to go ahead and rush a vaccine out and get it out within a year, it's going to have issues, which we've seen come to fruition now with a lot of people dying suddenly. So that was, I think, a big L, and Trump still takes a lot of credibility for it. I mean, hell, he even fucking gave Dr. Fauci an award, which I think is questionable. But in his eyes, he looked at it like, okay, I was able to get the economy back up and running quickly because of the vaccine. So he's obviously always going to take that as a W in his eyes. Also, they talked about Russia, Ukraine, and I agree with Trump that Putin probably would not have invaded Ukraine had he not, because Trump did not support NATO the same way that Biden does. I think by Biden coming into office, he supported NATO significantly. That gave Ukraine the balls to feel like, okay, we're going to go ahead, because they were in talks about getting Ukraine in. And Putin, knowing that, said, yo, we're going to go ahead and stop this shit right now. Trump was not that much of a NATO supporter, which I think kept Russia at bay. But once Biden started getting into bed with Ukraine, which, keep in mind, guys, when Biden was the vice president of the Obama administration, Ukraine was his stopping ground, okay? It was his stopping ground. Him and his son had a bunch of questionable money transactions with the Ukrainian and the Chinese government during the Obama administration. So, of course, he's going to go ahead and be super pro-Ukraine when he takes office, and I think that emboldened Putin to take an attack. Because, guys, keep in mind, for all of you guys that are unaware of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, right? Ukraine used to be a part of the USSR. Ukrainian is nothing more than a dialect of Russian, despite what they try to tell you, okay? That's the reality. If you look at Eastern Ukraine, they're almost all, whether it's Crimea, the Donbass region, etc., they're all, most of them, a staggering majority, are ethnically Russian. Kiev used to be a huge city in the USSR. So Putin looks at it like, okay, we have an adversary, NATO, by the way, which NATO's only existence really is to continue to perpetuate the military-industrial complex. We need to have an enemy to justify having weapons, paying for weapons, and exporting them to our allies so that they can go ahead and say, well, we're going ahead and combating the axis of evil, so we need a common enemy so that we can rationalize and justify fucking all these defense contractors, etc. Because war is a profitable business, guys, an extremely profitable business, okay? And weapons, etc. So that's what NATO exists for. Trump knew that. Hey, why the fuck are we putting so much money into this bullshit? Fucking, and I think that's what kept Russia at bay. Us not supporting NATO as much and making them put up their money. That's what kept them at bay. So once Biden got in, Putin said, fuck this shit, this is a national security threat. Because we were in the process of putting biological weapons over there. We would have a front. We're back on the debate?
Yeah, the debate's coming up.
We'll go back to the other stuff. But yeah, guys, I agree that if Trump was in office, we definitely wouldn't have went to war because he was not pro-NATO like Biden is. And NATO is bullshit.